Greetings, YouTube. I am starting out this video showing you my roster, not to brag or anything, but people always ask me, Prof, I'm level 60 and my champs aren't rated nearly as high as yours. Like, even if I go to say my 2 stars, people are like, they're over 1,000 prestige, over 1,000 PI, whatever you want to call it, player index. How is that possible? I'm kind of jealous. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be jealous. You should just follow my masteries. So what I have done is I have maximized in the last month my mastery setup, and I've tweaked it, and I've kept trying new things because I have mastery points to play with now that I don't use Mystic Dispersion. Now, I still want to say on record, Mystic Dispersion remains a fantastic mastery, especially for attacking Mystic champions. So if you got someone new, like a Symbiote Supreme, or you're still using Dr. Voodoo or Magic or even Ghost Rider, you might want to still put some points into Mystic Dispersion. But what I've learned, and what I've really realized, is that most of the champs I fight with now aren't Mystic champs. They're champs that are Cosmic champs and Tech champs and Mutant champs and Science champs. And so I would rather have a mastery setup that benefits all classes versus just that Mystic class, if that makes any sense. So I want to show you my updated mastery guide, and I can all but guarantee that if you follow this, you will have the same PI that I do. And keep in mind, this is a non-suicide build. This is also a non-Legends run build. This is a non-Alliance War heavy build. This is like an overall questing and arena build. And there are some things that people are going to disagree with. I can anticipate a couple on the top of my head that I will address already. But this works for me, and this is my mastery setup. I'm not telling you that it has to work for you, but if you'd like to copy it, it's in this video for a reason. So let's talk about my mastery setup first in offense, which is by far the most masteries I have in the tree. Now, I used to max out a couple things that I don't max out anymore. I used to max out Pierce, and I have since taken 2 out of 3 of those points off and distributed them accordingly. In fact, what I actually did is I wailed out and took Despair to the max rating because this really, really helps my Void, who I am strongly considering as my next rank 5, 65, 5-star champ. So, Despair is maxed. And as you can tell, Deep Wounds, one of my favorite masteries, still maxed, and Assassin is still maxed. Now, there are going to be plenty of people who comment and say, Prof, you're wasting points in Assassin. I really don't think you need 5 out of 5, and you probably don't. You can get away with 2 or 3. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I am usually taking down the Kingpin boss in Map 5 of Alliance Quest, and I also am taking down mini-bosses as the person who backs up my Alliance in Alliance War, and so I like having that comfort of knowing at around 18% health, I'm going to be doing a ton more damage with my champions, especially because, of course, all of those fights are timed. You'll also notice, technically people tell me this is not a suicide mastery, but it is on the suicide mastery, that I love Glass Cannon. Your goal should be to not get hit when you get better and better in the game. So if you don't get hit, you don't really have to worry about your maximum health. Just worry about your attack. So Glass Cannon is a must for all you Corvus players out there, and a lot of people also say that awakening further points of this suicide mastery, including, of course, recoil, is a must. I can see that argument, but I do think you suffer an Alliance War defense, and I'm not ready to do that sacrifice. You'll notice the only 2 that I have maxed out on the left of offense still are Precision and Cruelty. I stand by that, especially because of the PI boost that all of your champions will get when you maximize those and unlock them. And I would highly recommend that you do that very early on in your progression in the game if you're watching this and you're a newer player. I would also recommend that you don't worry about defense too much. I used to have so many points in defense, including one of my favorite masteries, Once Upon a Time, Willpower, but you'll see that it says I do not have enough mastery points to even activate it. At this point, you need 15 points in defense, and I have a measly 13. Now, this is where the controversy comes in, because I'm already going to guarantee you some people are going to be like, Prof, you are mistaken. You need to maximize block proficiency, and you need to take away perfect block, and especially stand your ground. Now, here's my rebuttal to that observation. I have still experienced, and maybe a lot of it's my fault with my iPhone 6. I'm trying to upgrade that in the next month or so, but regardless, a lot of lag. And whenever I experience lag, I do the only thing I can, which is I block, because I try to swipe back and it doesn't work. And when I block, the next thing I realize is that the lag has forced my opponent to try to do a heavy attack. And having 2 out of 5 in stand your ground, believe it or not, has saved me so much because I have actually hit that 20% RNG and I've resisted a block break. So, as long as the lag is going on, I will keep that mastery set up there. I also want to point out that I love the increase in PI with 2 out of 5 in stand your ground. It doesn't need any other. In fact, you won't really get a benefit at all from putting more points in it, but the 2 out of 5 really makes a difference in the rating overall of all your champs. Also notice, just like offense, I've only maximized 2 of the defensive masteries, salve and recovery, both of which I still love and still would recommend you maximize as well. Now, utility is something that I also think is so freaking important. I am thankful with the changes in dexterity that I still don't feel the need to put more than 1 point in it. I also have played around and maximized limber, and I think if I could go back and talk to my beginner self, I probably would have done that at the beginning because I was really bad at baiting special 1s and special 2s, so I'd push people like Black Widow and OG Thor to their special 3s or Storm, and I would just get wrecked on the stun. So when you maximize limber, it helps decrease the time that you are stunned, especially when you activate the rest of this. Now, I have maxed out everything else. Parry. Maximizing parry and stupefy should be your goal. I don't care who you are and if you just started or you are level 60. Those are a necessity in the current state and really any state of the game. And then petrify and pacify are also 2 masteries that I would highly recommend that you expand as well. All of these combined, so we have the utility, we've got the defense, and we've got the offense, have given me the ability to be confident this month, whether it be in the epic occult labs or the epic difficulty, which replaced the uncollected for a month. I still do very well in Alliance War and Alliance Quest, and I just have fun. I have fun, and because my champs are so highly rated, the arena is a pretty fast grind, especially in like a 3-star arena where you can use boosts easily and get those easily. But the 4 and 5-star, the more 5 stars I've accumulated, the less I've had to worry about playing my 4 stars, and it's just been really nice and relaxing. And dare I say, not stressful, which I want a mobile game to not be stressful, of course. So, this is my new mastery setup. Take it for what it is. It is not the mastery setup for anyone that wants to do a Legends run. It's not the mastery setup for everybody that wants to maximize their Corvus. But I think if you want just kind of a good overall build for Arena and Prestige and also questing, I think this build will do you really solid. And I look forward to hearing your feedback. And thank you, as always, for watching my videos and supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel.